Okay, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single Friday. As you can see on the title on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers of Don't Breathe Part 2 that just came out yesterday, well Thursday, but I just watched it today, but of course this is coming on Friday. Now, of course, as all my reviews are with spoilers, but if you don't want the spoilers, yours to see if it's worth watching it or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review. So you have the options because I like to give that. Because I know not everyone likes the spoilers. I know people that do and I know people that don't. So there you have the two options. So giving that disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. I did a reaction to the trailer, and basically something that I said was that it bothered me something, the fact that he's not precisely the hero like the blind man. He's not precisely the good guy here, but this one, at least, it doesn't really makes you like that. Like, the movie is not trying to make you see him as the good guy, but rather like the less evil guy between all the evil that it's happening, because a lot of bad guys are here, but he's the less evil, and we have some scenes that really show that. Now, basically, just like the plot says, he is taking care of this girl that her name is Phoenix, that 8 years ago the house where she lived caught on fire and she became an orphan, and the blind man decides to take care of her. Basically what it's shown on the trailer happens on the movie, but I could say that the trailer kind of tricks a little bit because it makes you think something, but it's another thing happening and more deeper on the movie. So it doesn't really have fake scenes. So basically every single scene, if you saw the trailer, once it happens on the movie, you're going to recognize it. Now, just like on the trailer, he's training her to like on the survival and defending herself. Of course, he's really restrictive. He doesn't let her like get out. She doesn't go to school. And also, she doesn't really know much about her past. Now, she has this friend that it's called Hernandez, that we learned that she also it's on the military. They don't really say much about her, but she's friends with the blind man, and she takes kind of care of Phoenix from time to time and takes her to the town. And she takes her and she's like, do you want to visit your mom? Because she takes her to the house, because the house, although it got burned, it's still there. So she gets there and has like this small altar, and we can say that she has visited more than once the house, kind of giving things and the flowers and stuff to the place where her mother died. The father didn't really say much about it, but because she believes that the blind man is her father, and that he believes that her mother died. So of course she doesn't really know the whole truth or the truth at all. Now, where she's with Hernandez, she's watching some kids on this shelter, and she kind of contemplates the fact of living there instead with her father. And when she's about to leave, she says that she needs to go to the bathroom, and while she's using it, a man appears and he's like, you're pretty, what's your name? And she's like, I don't care, get out, I want to leave. And Shadow appears, the dog, and he's obviously trained to, of course, defend Phoenix. And when she's about to like pass through him, he does this to the hair. She has a white hair, it's not like she bleached it, it's like when some people have it naturally, that the one single part of the hair will grow white. So she has that all to here, just like Anna from Frozen, if you haven't seen it, that type of thing. So he kind of looks. And also, while all of this is happening, there are news saying about this man that is on the organ trafficking and kids being missing. And you could say the movie is not predictable, but it has some foreshadowing moments. And also, if you have a really trained eye, it's not hard to connect the dots and kind of see what the movie is trying to tell you. So from the first glance, I kind of thought he's from human trafficking and he wants her organs. I mean, that's the first thought. And they do like a close-up of their truck and has this where they put the organs with the eyes, everything to transport them. So you kind of see where they're going. And they kind of look to where she was going, with who, that was Hernandez, and the van, the dog, and they took like a really good glance of everything. And they killed Hernandez later on the night when she dropped Phoenix on the house, and they get into the house because they want the girl. Now we could say that these are the first 20 minutes, and we're right away when they're trying to kidnap her. Of course, the blind man is not going to let that happen. I could say it's more half an hour scene of them chasing the girl and trying to fight the blind man. It doesn't really get too boring, I could say. It really helps. It has a really well way to keep the tension and not makes you boring. Like, this is so long, like go on, just take her if you're going to, but no. It has some really good makeup. The FX makeup is really good. It looks pretty real. It has some gore parts there when the killing and everything, but it looks pretty realistic. It looks good. There are moments that you're like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like you feel it. Well, that kind of dynamic. But eventually, they get her, and this is when I realized that the man that was in the bathroom, it's her biological father. And he takes his beanie out and he has the same patch of white hair here. And you could say maybe he bleached it. I didn't trust him. Like, you could say, is her real father? You should trust him. No. I didn't trust him. He's not a good guy at all. And there's this particular scene. They take her eventually, of course. They kidnap her and they leave the blind man really injured. And they burn the house. But they kill Shadow. Blind man finds the body. Of course, he's like crying and grieving his dog. And they have a dog, the father of Phoenix, and he like gives the jacket to the blind man to kind of the smell, so he can follow him on the house. And when he's about to burn the house, one of his friends or colleagues or helpers, whatever you want to call it, he's like, but the dog is on the inside. And he's like, who cares, it's already dead. And he throws a bottle. Now, the bottles were on the little thing where organs were supposed to go. And he doesn't care of the dog. And it's really, you're probably thinking that doesn't mean anything. But with a dog, just showing how much he cares. He doesn't kill. Like, the blind man has the opportunity to kill the dog because the dog is trying to kill him. But he's not able to. Which maybe, like I said, maybe sounds like nothing, but it really shows the difference in morals. Like, of course, none of them is good. The blind man is not a good man. He knows it. But this guy, the biological father, is not a good guy either. And just something as simple as not killing an animal can really say something about you. I don't know, I leave it there, the thoughts, but sometimes how people treat animals can really say a lot about you. Just say it. Now, he finds the body of Hernandez on the van. He saves the dog, so he takes the dog and he's like, go home. But he has like a leash, so of course the dog is guiding him to where the girl is. And this is when we learn that her mother is alive too. They were like met, I don't want to say cookers, but they were doing drugs on the house. That's why the house originally burned. And she was on the fire because of the chemicals. She breathed to them. Of course, she's kind of poisoned on the inside and she's dying. And they need a new heart. But the heart has to come for someone that is really like relative when it comes to DNA, blood, that type of stuff. So a daughter, that would be perfect. And this is when we learn that the only reason they kind of chase their daughter, it's because they want their heart. They don't really care about their daughter. While this blind man, although he's not the good guy, cares more about her. And he hasn't made any harm to her. So, to difference to what we have seen on the first movie, he doesn't really harm this one. So, of course, he gets to the place. He fights with everyone. Really good sequence. And eventually, of course, he kind of finds her. he kills the father. The mother gets accidentally shot by the father and dies, and the girl is kind of even handcuffed to her, so she cuts the arm of the mother. You can really see how she doesn't really has that bonding. Like, she's like, no, of course they want to kill me, so she's still loyal to the blind man. And when we could say that it's all over, he gets one last stab by the father. And Phoenix, that her real name is actually Tara, she kills her father, but the father stabs the blind man. So he dies on the arms of Phoenix slash Tara, and but we could say that 2 minutes prior to that, he has his moment of redemption. I think it's a really good scene because he's like telling her to go, that he's not a good man, that he has killed, he has raped, and that he's not good at all. And he's like, you need to go, you can't be close to me. But she's still loyal to the man who basically took care of her, and they show flashbacks on when he found her, because he found her lying on the road and he takes her home. Once he's on a new scene that the person that was responsible, well, at least responsible, that it's the father, he is taken to prison because of other things. So he knew that she wasn't going to be with anyone else, so he decided to take care. And the last scene is him dying because she's like, let me save you, and he tells her, but you already saved me, and he dies. It's really sad, seriously, because it's not like empathy, it's not like making you think that he's a good guy, but you feel some kind of empathy to him, although all the things that he has done previously. Maybe not everyone has the same thinking, but for me, like, from time to time, I kind of felt like sorry a little bit of him. Like I said, he's not the good guy, but he's not that bad either compared to the other ones. And basically that's how it ends, and she leaves to the shelter that she saw right at the beginning. And when the kids ask her name, it's kind of obvious what name she's saying, and she decides to live with Phoenix. That is the name that the blind man gave to her. And that's basically how the movie ends. Before I went to watch the movie, I kind of like searched like the ratings and everything, and I saw that it was like 46 on Rotten, and people on Letterboxd were saying that it wasn't good. Without any spoilers, but just 1 star, saying that it wasn't good, that it was a waste of time, that type of thing. But I will defer. Maybe this is the first time that I have a really big difference between what the people are saying and my opinion, but I never do that. Like, I'm really clear with what I say, and I don't do my opinions based on what others will say before me. I don't do that. But this is the first time where you can really will see the gap on the difference, and it's that I really enjoyed the film. It's 1 hour and 53 minutes, but it just feels like it's way less. It doesn't feel rushed. It's really fast paced. Has really good tension, action scenes. Like I said, the FX makeup, the plotting overall. I would say that it's not even completely like mandatory to watch the first one. Of course, helps with context, but this can work like a standalone movie type of thing. And I would say that it's a really good movie. It's the type of movie that I could rewatch, and I think that maybe people are being a little bit too harsh because it's not as good as the first one, that's for sure, but it's not as bad as they're putting it. I think that this movie is on a medium between the best and worst of the year. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. So I would say that it's definitely worth watching it. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, and it's entertaining. It serves the purpose of entertainment, and I would say that his redemption scene is a really good one. And also the girl, really good acting. The acting overall is pretty good, nothing really cringy. There's like one moment that we could say that it's funny, but besides that, I think that it's really good. Like I said, it's not completely predictable, but if you have a trained eye, you're going to connect the dots pretty quickly, and you kind of will predict yourself what is going to happen. Basically, that's all I have to say. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, so of course go and watch it. Seriously, if you liked the first one, go and watch it. And basically, yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what do you think. Of course, a third movie is not coming. That's definitely for sure. And they shouldn't even try to make it a third movie about this. Never. But who knows? Successful movies, sometimes they do more than one just because of the money. Nothing else. Well, let me know your opinions on the comments. And I'm going to be seeing you guys on my next video. Bye.